Thank you, David. Thank you all for being here. I mean, it's so exciting. Everything that led up until this moment, I'm thinking, well, maybe there's no speaking really necessary because the co-creation has been so wonderful up until this moment. However, I'm really happy to be here, happy to stand in for Reverend Joan. She's my person. I'm really great. I'm really glad that when David called me, I was able to open my heart and say, well, yes, of course, it can happen. So today, what I'd like to speak about is on a junket with the prototype. And what this is about is there are a few questions. What would make for a splendid, superb, spectacular passage in our lives? Or what destination resonates with us? And I'm not speaking of places like Tel Aviv or Anchorage or Tahiti or Bali. What within the journey of life that we're on, what really is working for us? And this being on a junket with the prototype, I'll explain that in a moment. However, I always like to start with a little giggle because I know that spirit is about seriousness and enlightenment and sacredness, and that's all filled to overflowing with humor and a little giggle. So there were two young children who went to church regularly with their mother, and so one day the minister of the church called them in one at a time. The first child called in and said, "Where is Jesus?" And the child said, I was listening in Sunday school, but could I go out and talk to my mom about it?" And the minister said, "Absolutely." So that child goes out, and the other child says, send the other child in. The other child comes in, and both of these children, I might add, are rambunctious children. So the other child comes in, and the minister again says, "Where is Jesus?" And the child goes, well, I think I was listening in all the lessons. However, could I go out and talk to my mom about it?" And the minister says, "Of course." So the two children come out, and before they can even both have a consultation with their mom, the last one out looks to the other one and says, "Guess what? Jesus is missing, and they think we did it." So just a little giggle, just to let us know that, there is laughter in all of this too, that, oh, David, I see that in the chat. It's a little tickle, a little giggle to me. Yeah, like a little tipple, but no alcohol involved. So, this on a junket with the prototype, the first thing I'd like to do is a few definitions. The definition of a junket that I looked it up, it's an excursion, a trip to have pleasure, or to obtain information. That's what a junket is known as in our English language. And then the prototype. A prototype is the original model, the thing illustrating typical qualities, and the exemplar. Yeah, so we are all on a junket with the prototype, which means we are on the caravan of creation with the Christ consciousness within and as each one of us. That the Christ consciousness is within us, it has its beingness within us, it lives and breathes and makes its way through into life through each and every one of us. And so before I go on with this, I don't know about you, but when I was being with this and just thinking about being on a prototype a junket with the prototype, or really just being on a journey with Jesus, let's just put it like that. I had a little resistance about that because some of my original religiosity upbringing was about Jesus being the savior and Jesus saving me from everything and the things I was or I was not and da 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 da. So initially in the first few moments, I thought, this is feels kind of prickly to me. So I'd like to invite you, if you have any of that resistance about Jesus, the Christ consciousness, just take a deep breath, exhale, wiggle around a little bit, wiggle your body a little bit, and just allow yourself to accept the resistance, to own the resistance, to be in a place of awareness of the resistance, bless any of the resistance on its way. I don't know if you have it, but some of us have it. I was not, I think I may have shared with you before, I was raised as a Southern Baptist child. And so, and I don't know about everyone else. I'm speaking from it put a lot of things in me that terrified me as a girl. And as I grew and, got older and found New Thought, Ageless Wisdom and all sorts of other wonderful things, there was still that in there. So I want to give us all a moment or a space. If you have that, if you don't have it, I'm so extremely grateful that you do not. If you do happen to have it, just so we can know that we're on this journey with Jesus today, or on a junket with the prototype, we allow anything like that to dissolve and dissipate into the nothingness from whence it came, it to whatever degree that we are capable of it today. So anyway, let's talk about on the prototype, on a junket with the prototype, the Christ consciousness within us. And so Jesus has been called a sage, an avatar, and a symbol of divine love. I mean, there's a lot of names, okay? And so what showed up for me as the Christ consciousness within, or Jesus, is an illuminator, a way shower, and an agent for change. And when I was researching this and knowing about this, I found out that it was in the 16th century that the Catholic Church made canons, and the canons were what was to be in the Bible, okay? And they omitted some of the books of the Bible, and one of the books they omitted from the Bible is the Book of Thomas. And that recently, a lot of theologians and the spiritual leaders have come to know about this Book of Thomas. So I want to talk a little bit about the Book of Thomas and what is about Jesus in the Book of Thomas, and also the other thing I want to say about Jesus, the Christ consciousness, which is the place and space of all possibilities. His real name was Yeshua ben Joseph, and he was a Palestinian brown person. And so that's the area of the world he was from. And so I'd like to give the description of him that even I, as a child, didn't know. And yes, I'm just going to be transparent with you. Yes, in my house, we did have on the wall the picture of the white Jesus with the beard. Yes. And on the walls of all of my relatives, too. So, however, his name was Yeshua ben Joseph. And some of the things that show up in the Book of Thomas about Yeshua ben Joseph bring us to knowing that he was or is an illuminator, a way shower, and a change agent. And so one of the things that's in the Book of Thomas, which is part of the Gnostic Gospels, I just think it's so fascinating that, and these Gospels were strained out over the years, over the centuries, strained out by Greek philosophy, strained out by Catholic canons, just strained out, just, disappeared out. So one of the things that in the Gnostic Gospels, in the Book of Thomas, is knowing that the word spirit actually means, or it meant then, the breath of the whole universe. And yeah, the breath of the whole universe, when I think about that, is so scrummy and wonderful to know that. And that in the Book of Thomas, one of the things that Jesus says about spirit is, believe in spirit like me, believe as I do. Yeah, believe in spirit as I do, believe in spirit like me. And then another thing about Yeshua ben Joseph, I love saying that name, that is in the Book of Thomas, is recognize what is in your sight, and that which is hidden from you will become plain to you, which also is it's an opportunity to be a way shower, to show the way. Recognize what is in your sight, and that which is hidden from you will become plain to you. When I think about it, the words may feel simplistic. However, it is also the purity of the word itself that makes it easy to understand, that makes it easy to embody, that makes it easy to let yourself absorb this truth. And one other thing that was in the Book of Thomas, that was written by Thomas and about Yeshua ben Joseph, is the word for love, Ahab, Ahab, I believe is how you say it, and that it grows from an unknown seed, and it slowly blossoms in and as each one of us. It grows from the seed of the divine. It's just, that's what happens, and it grows from the seed of the divine, and then it grows and makes itself known in and as each one of us. So you might be thinking, okay, so in what ways was Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus, as well as, and I want to make it clear again that this whole personages, this beingness that I'm speaking of, is the Christ consciousness that's within and as each one of us. It's often been said, and it's really the truth, Jesus, Yeshua ben Joseph, was the example, not the exception. So we get to remember that he was an example. That is the example for what each one of us actually has the potentiality within ourselves to be, to accept, to embrace, to express, to let it flow through us. So one of the ways that he was a illuminator or a light bringer, I like to call it, one of the ways that he was he gave us an opportunity to know that any shadow elicits the light. So any shadow that's happening in our light is eliciting the light. Anything that's happening in my life, like that I may think like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. It is calling forth the light. It is giving the light an opportunity to magnetize to and through each one of us. Because every shadow is an opportunity for expansion and growth. And I use that term shadow because it's the darkness and the light, and the darkness and the light are the same in spirit. However, that's the first way that Yeshua ben Joseph showed up as the light bringer. And one of the ways I'm using a few biblical references here is that, of course, we all know that he's restored light to a blind person. Okay, that we know that, and that's from actually the book of John, that the light of the world brought light to the eyes of one who could not see. And that light of the world is the light that exists and lives in, through, and as you and I. Each one of us is the light bringer. Each one of us is the illuminator. That's a fact. That's just the truth of who and what we are. So the second thing about Yeshua ben Joseph is a way shower. Yeshua ben Joseph showed the way. And what I love about this, what showed up for me is, which makes Jesus, the Christ consciousness within us, a loyalist. That he is loyal to the truth that we all know. Yeah. That he, she, they is loyal to the truth of the divine. And so a way shower, Yeshua ben Joseph, showed the ways to be and live as a loyalist. There's a lot of things that happened in the life of this individual that absolutely illuminated and illustrated and even activated the way of being a way shower, of absolutely showing the way and just showing that the way is love. That love is the way, that love makes a way where there's no way. As we often say, or as has been said in New Thought, Ageless Wisdom, love makes a way and the law makes it happen. So yeah, it's love, 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 love. That love that is within us. I sometimes like to think it's like bubbling up within us and just like wanting to come up and out, even in situations where I may not feel too loving, you may not feel too loving, we may not feel too loving. A lot of the things that are happening in our world today. And I want to be clear that our world is separate from the planet. What is happening in our world is a compilation of all the consciousness of all of us beings on the planet. So that it's that thing of, the reason when I first heard this in New Thought, I didn't like it. The reason your life is the way it is because you chose that. And in the beginning, like 25, 30 years ago, I thought, oh no, that can't be true. I didn't choose this. However, that's it. I want to make it clear that that's what the world's about too. It's all of our consciousness. My consciousness over here in Northern California can affect what's happening, I don't know, over in Johannesburg, South Africa, because it's all energy, it's all vibration. So I digress. However, so Yeshua is first an illuminator, a light bringer. Secondly, a way shower and a loyalist. And the third thing is an agent for change and a visionary. And what I love about this is that absolutely this individual came to bring the revolution of God's kingdom of love, replacing the earthly authority at that time. And this is clearly defined and developed a clear picture of the future. If you read anything about this individual, there was clear pictures of the future. And also it is even said in Proverbs, many are the plans in the mind of man, but it is the vision of the Lord, and I'm going to add on the law, that will stand. So this person was also an agent for change, a visionary, looking at life, not the way it looks to his eyes at that moment, but knowing that the authority of the kingdom of love is all that there is. And it's an opportunity for us to look at life that way too. We open up our phone, open up our iPad, open up our computer. I was talking to someone today who said they were all listening to Sirius radio in their car. You can hear a lot of things that may make you think that the truth is not prevailing on our planet, in our planet right now. However, it is our opportunity to know this, to hold it, to embrace it, to embody it, to understand that this Yeshua ben Joseph is within us. Each one of us is a light bringer. Each one of us is a way shower. Each one of us is an agent for change. So you probably thinking, oh, I like these, Verona. At least I'm knowing that you're thinking that. Oh, I like this, and I like the things we're learning about Yeshua ben Joseph. I like knowing about Jesus' life. I like knowing things that possibly I already knew. These are review or things that I didn't know before, and about the book of Thomas, the Gnostic Gospels. This is all just absolutely intriguing information. And if I were you, I'd be saying, and how is this working in your life? How is this working in the life of the person who's speaking to me? So I want to share with you that I had an opportunity in the month of February to go to Kenya. And it was a CSL Kenya conference. And when I signed up last May, I just decided, well, yeah, I'd love to go. I want to go to Mother Africa. I've been to Egypt. I want to go to Sub-Saharan Africa, and I'd like to enjoy. I'd like to go to this conference. I like conferences. And I wasn't, I wasn't in a place of complete awareness of what this really was meaning. And then in January, the ladies who are in charge of the conference, the CSO Kenya ministers, asked me to be a presenter at the conference. And so I said, well, absolutely, most positively. And so I went to the conference. And David, I think we can use some of the slideshow now. Okay, so here I am at the Maasai village. And these are me with the children. The children had just come back from school. And the reason I thank you, David. David was so lovingly said, why don't you, we'll show some of these pictures. The reason I want this slideshow of these pictures is to let you know that the Christ consciousness within me came roaring out when I was in Kenya. And it was not my expectation. My expectation was I go there, I speak, I do what I do. I'm on vacation, I go on a safari, da, 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 da. And then I got to go to places like the Maasai village. First thing was that I was on a continent where I was one with all the people. And I didn't expect that. A thirst of mine was getting quenched that I didn't even know I had that thirst. And that thirst was, besides being on a continent with people who looked like me and in a country where everyone looked like me, it was also knowing about the oneness of the divine happening within me and all these precious children and the Christ consciousness light that really radiates out from me like this beam of light that I don't even think about. That's not even something that I have a consciousness of it, but it's not something I'd lead with. So we can go on now, David. You can just move to the next one. So here I am at the Maasai village. Here I am with the Maasai chief's son. His name was Ben, by the way. And this hat I have on is made from a lion that they caught, killed, and did whatever they do with the rest of it. And in this individual picture, the chief's son asked to take a picture with me. I mean, a lot of people were taking pictures with him, but he asked to take a picture with me. And I'm thinking, what's up with this? And then after we took the picture, he mentioned to me, there's a light shining from you. There's something happening with you. And he even said, it's not like the rest of the Americans. And I just took it to mean, well, okay, there, all right. I mean, I'm joyous, I'm happy, I love spirit. So this was, it was like building up on itself, all building up on itself. We can keep going now. And here's where I was presenting at the conference. Now, I was presenting at the conference. Yeah, thank you, David. I was presenting at this conference, and the keynote speaker for this conference was a wonderful gentleman named Brother Ishmael Tete. Brother Ishmael Tete is from Ghana. And here's some of my family members that I met there at the conference. I came to know that, once again, it's the oneness of the divine. Like that we're all beaming out the Christ consciousness. We're all in a place of connectivity. Yeah, some of the people that are now my family members, and it wasn't just family members because we share the same skin color. It was because we were all together in the oneness. Yeah, that we were all together in the oneness. And we can just hold this one here. Okay, so this is on the left side, Brother Ishmael Tete, and then myself, and then his lovely wife, Joanna, and my dear friend, Jerry De La Rosa. Brother Tete, I have been following him for about 10, maybe 12 years, and seeing him speak. And so here I am at the conference. I'm getting up to do my presentation. Brother Tay is the keynote speaker of the conference, and I'm thinking, well, that means he'll only be there on Sunday. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But no, I'm walking up to the podium, and I realize Brother Tay is in the room. I am now presenting in front of someone who is my idol, someone who's an icon to me. And what poured through me in that very moment, that split second, is yes. And the Christ consciousness lives and breathes and has its beingness within, through, and as me. I am all those things that we've been talking about here today: light bringer, way shower, an agent for change. So whoever is in front of me, including my beloved brother Tay, it's all good. It's all in divine right and perfect order, that it is mine to get up on that stage, bring the light, be the Christ consciousness, and express the divine in the way that I do. And this is the final picture, I think. And this was in the border of Tanzania and Kenya. And this is to show, like, I had my daughter was with me to take this picture to show that's what's happening here. The Christ consciousness is here. The Christ consciousness of all possibilities, of joy, of enthusiasm, of ecstasy, of being effusive about the divine. All these things showed up in me as a result of being in Mother Africa, of being in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I want to share with you that I think that's the end. Yeah, David, I think that's the end. I'd like to be transparent and share with you that I am a girl from Des Moines, Iowa. When I went away to college, my parents said, I went to college in Minnesota. I'm a McAllister College. My parents said, go to school, get a degree, do the best you can. And the expectation is that you'll be a teacher, or that's about it. You'll be a teacher, and maybe you might have some other profession like that. And this is the heights for you, Verona. And here now I am, the Christ consciousness deluging through me. I am in Kenya, in Sub-Saharan Africa. I am presenting at a conference in front of someone who I now know that the Christ consciousness within me lets me know this is my colleague. There are no idols. This is my colleague. And I must tell you, as David and I were chatting, it is life-changing for me. It has changed my life in ways that I never imagined. And the way it's changed my life is that I know that all the possibilities of the divine reside within and as me. Every single possibility, the things that my imagination knows about, and the things that, like Neville Goddard says, faith is loyalty to unseen reality. All those other things too, all the unseen reality is showing up in, through, and as me, as the Christ consciousness, as a result of me following my intuition, listening, and stepping away from Northern California and going to Sub-Saharan Africa, going to Kenya, bringing the fullness of myself, and being the truth of who and what I am. So I'd like to let you know today, once again, just like Yeshua ben Joseph, I am not the exception. I am yet another example. And the example that each one of us is, there's only one of us here. The example that I am is the example that each one of you is, the example that each one of us is. And so my challenge today is to allow yourself to feel, be, embrace, express, embody, and know and concretize within you that Christ consciousness, that light bringer, that way shower, that agent for change that is available to, through, and as each one of us. Because as we're on the junket with the prototype, it is a caravan of creation. It is an absolute, limitless, ceaseless unfoldment of the possibilities of the divinity within, through, and as each one of us. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
Let there be peace in my mind, peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. 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 Om. Oh, Shanti Om. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Oh, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, 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 Shanti Om. Oh, Shanti Om. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om.
Oh, goodness. Now, I was just thinking that meditation, it's kind of a communing and communing thing we're doing, meditating together. We can feel each other's energy. So you can close your eyes if you'd like, or just stare at that beautiful picture, which I think just will bring you peace. Just taking slow, deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And notice with each breath, how your body just naturally relaxes. Feeling those muscles in your shoulders relax, and your shoulders are kind of down instead of hunched. Your hands just free in your lap, your feet grounded. Just feel how does your body feel? Is it relaxed? Do a little scan. And if your mind kind of floats around a bit, it's okay. Just allow those distractions to just float in and out, breathing in peace and quiet, and breathing out distraction or any noise. Feeling yourself in that peaceful place, that place we call the stillness. Because we know no matter what's going on around us, we're always centered in spirit. I found a wonderful quote from Myrtle Fillmore. You are eternally one with your source and creator. So it's just a matter of getting still, peaceful, calm, and serene, with your thought away for a while from all the outer activities and opening the way for the mighty and abundant inflow of spirit that vitalizes, invigorates, builds up, and renews every place in mind, heart, soul, and body. Oh, just take in that feeling. releasing thought, breathing in the inflow of spirit and renewed vitality, mind, body, spirit. Oh, the regeneration in every cell, just healing, peace, health, joy, the connection with the one. Stillness is just a quality of being that's naturally within every one of us. Stillness is a harmony of mind, body, and spirit. We are one with the spirit. We are one with the universe. We are one with each other. Continuing that rhythmic breathing, we can feel the expansion and immenseness of space and the universe. And at the same time, we can feel the connection with all there is. We are one with spirit, and we are one with each other, feeling that energy, feeling that love, even though we may not be in the same room. Take in those feelings. How are you feeling right now? What's going on in your mind, body, spirit? Are you feeling the stillness? Are you feeling the calm? Let's go into silence with that for a few moments. As we slowly begin to return to the present, this time, this place, take another deep inhale and exhale. Slowly bringing ourselves back to awareness into this realm. And I leave you with this quote from Hermann Hesse. Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time. Let's just hold that with us through the week. Oh, and I come back filled with peace and with gratitude for today's message from Reverend Verona, the always beautiful music from Margot, and grateful for everyone who is here today, sharing this space of love, joy, peace, and community. We are grateful and we are blessed, and so it is.